In a small village, a boy named Aryan was born with extraordinary abilities. His mother, Sunita, kept his powers hidden to protect him. Aryan could run faster than a horse and lift boulders with ease. The villagers often noticed his strange behavior but never questioned it. Sunita told Aryan that he must always hide his powers. Aryan was homeschooled, keeping him away from curious eyes. As Aryan grew older, he became more aware of his differences. He could jump over trees and hear conversations from miles away. Sunita often reminded him of the dangers of revealing his powers. Aryan's favorite pastime was exploring the nearby forest. He would climb the highest trees and marvel at the view. One day, Aryan discovered an old cave deep in the forest. Inside the cave, he found ancient drawings of a man with similar powers. Aryan was fascinated by the drawings and wanted to learn more. He started visiting the cave regularly, studying the drawings. Sunita noticed Aryan's increasing curiosity and became worried. She warned Aryan to stay away from the cave. Aryan reluctantly agreed, but couldn't resist returning to the cave. In the cave, Aryan found an old manuscript explaining the origin of his powers. The manuscript spoke of a meteor that had fallen to Earth years ago. The meteor's radiation had given extraordinary powers to those exposed. Aryan realized that his powers were a gift from the universe. Excited, Aryan ran back home to tell his mother. Sunita listened carefully, but warned Aryan to keep it a secret. She told him about his father, who had similar powers. Aryan's father, Rohit, had been a scientist who discovered the meteor. Rohit had used his powers to help people, but faced many challenges. Sunita revealed that Rohit had disappeared mysteriously years ago. Aryan was determined to find out what happened to his father. He decided to train himself to control his powers. Aryan started practicing in the forest, improving his strength and speed. He also discovered that he could heal quickly from injuries. Sunita continued to worry about Aryan's safety. One day, while practicing in the forest, Aryan heard a scream. He rushed towards the sound and found a girl trapped under a fallen tree. Using his strength, Aryan lifted the tree and saved the girl. The girl, named Priya, was amazed by Aryan's abilities. Aryan told Priya to keep his powers a secret. Priya promised but was intrigued by Aryan's mysterious nature. Aryan and Priya became friends, spending time together in the forest. Priya introduced Aryan to the world outside the village. They visited nearby towns, where Aryan saw new places and people. Aryan was fascinated by the city life, but missed his village. Priya encouraged Aryan to explore more and discover his potential. Aryan started dreaming of using his powers to help others. One day, while exploring a new town, Aryan saw a poster about a scientist. The scientist, Dr. Malhotra, claimed to know the secrets of the universe. Aryan decided to meet Dr. Malhotra to learn more about his powers. Priya accompanied Aryan to Dr. Malhotra's lab. Dr. Malhotra was impressed by Aryan's knowledge of the meteor. He agreed to help Aryan learn more about his powers. Dr. Malhotra told Aryan about a powerful organization searching for people with abilities. The organization, led by a man named Zoravar, wanted to control these people. Aryan realized that he had to be careful not to attract their attention. Dr. Malhotra offered to train Aryan to defend himself. Aryan agreed and began his training under Dr. Malhotra's guidance. He learned to focus his energy and control his powers more effectively. Aryan also developed new abilities, such as telekinesis and energy blasts. Priya watched in awe as Aryan became stronger and more confident. Sunita was proud of Aryan's progress, but still worried about his safety. She reminded Aryan to always be cautious and protect his identity. Aryan promised his mother that he would never reveal his powers. One day, Aryan received a mysterious letter from an unknown sender. The letter warned Aryan that Zoravar's men were looking for him. Aryan realized that his secret was no longer safe. He decided to leave the village and go into hiding. Priya offered to accompany Aryan on his journey. Sunita gave Aryan her blessing and told him to stay strong. Aryan and Priya left the village under the cover of night. They traveled to a distant city, hoping to stay hidden from Zoravar's men. In the city, Aryan changed his appearance to avoid recognition. Priya found a small apartment where they could live quietly. Aryan continued his training in secret, preparing for any threats. He also started working in a local bookstore to earn money. Priya found a job at a nearby cafe, helping them stay financially stable. Aryan and Priya made new friends in the city, but Aryan kept his powers hidden. One day, Aryan saw a news report about Zoravar's organization attacking a nearby town. He realized that Zoravar was getting closer to finding him. Aryan decided that he could no longer stay hidden. He needed to confront Zoravar and protect the people he cared about. Priya supported Aryan's decision and offered to help him. Aryan contacted Dr. Malhotra for advice on how to defeat Zoravar. Dr. Malhotra suggested using Aryan's powers to create a distraction. Aryan agreed and started planning his attack on Zoravar's headquarters. He knew it would be dangerous, but he was determined to stop Zoravar. Aryan trained harder than ever, pushing his limits to prepare for the battle. Priya worried about Aryan's safety, but knew he was doing the right thing.
Aryan reassured Priya that he would come back safely. The day of the attack arrived and Aryan was ready. He bid farewell to Sunita and promised to return victorious. Aryan and Priya traveled to Zoravar's headquarters, ready for the final battle. They arrived at the heavily guarded compound and surveyed the area. Aryan used his powers to sneak past the guards and enter the building. Inside, they encountered several of Zoravar's henchmen. Aryan fought them off, using his strength and speed to overpower them. Priya provided support, guiding Aryan through the maze-like corridors. They finally reached Zoravar's main control room. Zoravar was waiting for them, surrounded by his elite guards. Aryan knew this would be the toughest fight of his life. He took a deep breath and prepared to face Zoravar head-on. Aryan and Zoravar stared each other down, the tension thick in the air. Zoravar smirked, confident in his superior numbers. Aryan felt a surge of energy and prepared to fight. Zoravar ordered his guards to attack Aryan. Aryan moved swiftly, dodging their attacks and countering with his own. The room echoed with the sound of battle metal clashing against metal. Priya watched anxiously, knowing Aryan was outnumbered. Aryan unleashed a powerful energy blast, knocking several guards back. Zoravar seemed unfazed, watching Aryan's every move. Aryan knew he had to conserve his energy for the final showdown. One by one, Aryan defeated Zoravar's guards, leaving only Zoravar standing. Zoravar clapped mockingly, impressed by Aryan's abilities. Aryan glared at Zoravar, ready for the final battle. Zoravar activated a hidden mechanism, revealing a secret chamber. The chamber housed a machine that amplified Zoravar's powers. Zoravar stepped into the machine, his body glowing with energy. Aryan braced himself as Zoravar emerged, now stronger than ever. Zoravar launched a powerful attack, sending Aryan crashing into a wall. Aryan groaned in pain but quickly got back on his feet. Zoravar laughed, enjoying the thrill of the fight. Aryan knew he had to think strategically to defeat Zoravar. He remembered Dr. Malhotra's advice about using distractions. Aryan created multiple energy clones of himself to confuse Zoravar. Zoravar attacked the clones, unaware of the real Aryan's position. Aryan seized the opportunity to strike Zoravar from behind. Zoravar stumbled, surprised by Aryan's clever tactic. Aryan continued to attack, determined to weaken Zoravar. Zoravar retaliated with a devastating energy wave, knocking Aryan back. Aryan felt his strength waning but refused to give up. Priya shouted words of encouragement, reminding Aryan of his mission. Aryan drew strength from Priya's words and pushed himself to continue. Zoravar charged at Aryan, his attacks becoming more aggressive. Aryan dodged Zoravar's attacks, using his agility to stay one step ahead. Zoravar grew frustrated, unable to land a decisive blow. Aryan saw an opening and launched a powerful energy beam at Zoravar. The beam struck Zoravar, causing him to stagger. Arian pressed the attack, not giving Zoravar a chance to recover. Zoravar realized he was losing the battle and activated his machine again. This time, the machine overloaded, causing a massive explosion. Arian shielded himself from the blast, but the force knocked him down. The room was filled with smoke and debris, obscuring Arian's vision. Arian struggled to stand, his body aching from the fight. He called out for Priya, hoping she was safe. Priya emerged from the smoke, rushing to Arian's side. Arian smiled weakly, relieved that Priya was unharmed. Zoravar emerged from the wreckage, severely injured but still defiant. Arian knew this was his chance to end the battle once and for all. He summoned all his remaining energy and prepared for a final attack. Zoravar sneered, refusing to back down despite his injuries. Arian unleashed a massive energy wave, engulfing Zoravar in light. Zoravar screamed as the energy wave consumed him, leaving nothing behind. The room fell silent, the battle finally over. Arian collapsed to the ground, exhausted but victorious. Priya rushed to Arian, tears of relief streaming down her face. Arian smiled, grateful to have survived the battle. They knew Zoravar's reign of terror was over. Arian and Priya made their way out of the compound, relieved to be alive. Outside, they were greeted by Dr. Malhotra, who had been waiting anxiously. Dr. Malhotra congratulated Arian on his victory and praised his bravery. Arian thanked Dr. Malhotra for his guidance and support. Priya hugged Arian tightly, overjoyed that the battle was finally over. Arian looked at the horizon, knowing his journey was far from over. He realized that with great power came great responsibility. Arian knew he had a duty to protect those who couldn't protect themselves. He vowed to continue using his powers for good and to help those in need. Dr. Malhotra offered Arian a place to stay while he recovered. Arian accepted, knowing he needed time to regain his strength. Priya stayed by Arian's side, supporting him through his recovery. As Arian healed, he reflected on the battle and the lessons he had learned. He realized that true strength came from within, not just from his powers. Arian decided to dedicate his life to helping others, just as his father had. He knew it wouldn't be easy, but he was ready for the challenge. Priya encouraged Arian to follow his heart and continue his mission. Arian and Priya grew closer, their bond stronger than ever. They knew that together, they could face any challenge that came their way. Arian continued to train, honing his abilities and preparing for the future. Dr. Malhotra introduced Arian to others with similar powers. Arian formed a team of heroes, each with their own unique abilities. Together, they worked to protect the world from threats like Zoravar. Arian became a symbol of hope and inspiration to people everywhere. He traveled the world, helping those in need and spreading his message of peace. Priya often joined Arian on his adventures, providing support and companionship. Arian's fame grew, but he remained humble and focused on his mission. He never forgot the lessons his mother had taught him about responsibility. Arian knew that his powers were a gift, and he was determined to use them wisely. As time passed, Arian became a legend, known as the Guardian of the Earth. He continued to protect the world, always ready to face new challenges. Priya stood by his side, her love and support unwavering. Arian knew he was not alone in his journey, and that gave him strength. Together, Arian and Priya faced the future with hope and determination. They knew that as long as they were together, they could overcome any obstacle. Arian's journey was far from over, but he was ready for whatever came next. He had found his purpose in life, and nothing could stop him now. Arian looked up at the sky, feeling a sense of peace and fulfillment. He knew that his father would be proud of the man he had become. Arian smiled, ready to continue his mission and make the world a better place. The future was bright, and Arian was excited to see what it held. He knew that as long as he stayed true to himself, he could achieve anything. Arian took Priya's hand, and together they walked into the sunset. The world was safe, and Arian was ready for the next adventure. Years passed, and Arian's legend continued to grow. People all over the world knew his name and his heroic deeds. Arian's team of heroes expanded, with new members joining their cause. Together, they faced numerous challenges, protecting the Earth from harm. Arian's leadership and wisdom guided the team through difficult times. Priya remained by Arian's side, providing love and support. Arian's relationship with Priya deepened, and they eventually married. Their bond was unbreakable, strengthened by their shared experiences. Arian's mission became a family affair, with Priya actively involved. They traveled the world, helping those in need and spreading their message of hope. Arian and Priya visited many countries, learning about different cultures. They encountered people from all walks of life, each with their own stories. Arian's adventures became a source of inspiration for many. People looked up to Arian as a symbol of courage and determination. Arian knew that his work was far from over, but he was ready for the challenge. He continued to train, honing his abilities and staying prepared for any threat. Arian's team of heroes grew stronger, with new members bringing fresh perspectives. Together, they faced threats from outer space, powerful villains and natural disasters. Arian's leadership was crucial in keeping the team united and focused. Priya played a key role in the team, using her intelligence and compassion to help others. Arian and Priya's love for each other was evident to everyone around them. They were a shining example of what could be achieved through teamwork and love. Arian's reputation as the guardian of the earth spread far and wide. People from all over the world sought his help and guidance. Arian never turned anyone away, always willing to lend a hand. He knew that his powers were a gift, and he was determined to use them for good. Arian's team of heroes became a global force for good, protecting the Earth from all threats. They established a network of heroes in different countries, each working to make the world a safer place. Arian's influence extended beyond the realm of superheroes. He became a mentor to young people, teaching them the importance of responsibility and kindness. Arian's teachings inspired a new generation of heroes, ready to take up the mantle. Arian knew that his legacy would live on through these young heroes. He continued to work tirelessly, ensuring that the world remained safe. Arian and Priya started a family, raising their children to be kind and courageous. Their children inherited Arian's powers, continuing the family's legacy of heroism. Arian taught his children the importance of using their powers for good. He wanted them to understand that true strength came from within. Arian's children grew up to be heroes in their own right, following in their father's footsteps. Together, the family worked to protect the earth and its people. Arian was proud of his children and the choices they made. He knew that they would carry on his mission long after he was gone. Arian's legacy was secure, with his teachings and values passed down to future generations. He knew that the world would always need heroes, and he was confident that his children would rise to the challenge. Arian and Priya continued to travel the world, helping those in need. They visited places they had never seen before, learning new things along the way. Arian's adventures took him to distant lands and even other planets. He encountered alien civilizations, some friendly and some hostile. Arian's diplomacy skills were tested as he navigated these new challenges. Priya's intelligence and quick thinking often saved the day in difficult situations. Together, they formed alliances with alien races, working together to protect the galaxy. Arian's team of heroes expanded beyond Earth, with members from different planets joining their cause. They faced threats on a cosmic scale, but Arian's leadership kept them strong. Arian's adventures became legendary, inspiring people across the galaxy. He was known as the Guardian of the Universe, a title he wore with pride. Arian never forgot where he came from and remained humble despite his fame. Priya was his constant companion, always by his side through thick and thin. Arian and Priya's love for each other grew stronger with each passing year. They knew that their bond was unbreakable, forged through their shared experiences. Arian's family continued to grow, with new members joining their ranks. His grandchildren inherited his powers, ensuring that the legacy of heroism would continue. Arian knew that his time as a hero would eventually come to an end. He was ready to pass the torch to the next generation, confident in their abilities. Arian spent his final years teaching and mentoring young heroes, passing on his wisdom. He knew that the world would be in good hands with his successors. Arian and Priya retired from active hero work, settling down in a peaceful village. They lived a quiet life, enjoying their time together and reflecting on their adventures. Arian was content, knowing that he had fulfilled his mission and made the world a better place. Priya remained his constant companion, providing love and support in their twilight years. Arian's legacy lived on through his children, grandchildren, and the heroes he had mentored. The world continued to thrive, thanks to the efforts of the heroes Arian had trained. Arian and Priya spent their days reminiscing about their adventures, grateful for the life they had lived. They knew that they had made a difference, and that was all that mattered. Arian's name became synonymous with heroism, courage, and kindness. He was remembered as the greatest hero the world had ever known. Priya was celebrated as his loyal partner, always by his side through every challenge. Arian's story became a legend, passed down through the generations. People continued to tell tales of his adventures, inspiring new heroes to rise. Arian's teachings became the foundation for a new era of heroism. His values of responsibility, kindness, and courage were instilled in every new hero. Arian's legacy was secure, and his impact on the world would never be forgotten. As Arian and Priya lived out their final days, they knew they had no regrets. They had lived a life full of adventure, love, and purpose. Arian looked at the sunset, feeling a sense of peace and fulfillment. Priya held his hand, smiling as they watched the world they had helped to save. Arian knew that his journey was complete, and he was ready for whatever came next. He closed his eyes, content in the knowledge that he had made a difference. Priya kissed him gently, knowing that they would always be together, even in the next life. Arian took his final breath, surrounded by love and the knowledge that he had done his best. The world mourned the loss of its greatest hero, but his legacy lived on. Arian's story became a beacon of hope, inspiring people for generations to come. Priya continued to live on, keeping Arian's memory alive through her actions. She knew that Arian's spirit would always be with her, guiding her through life. Arian's children and grandchildren carried on his mission, protecting the world from harm. They knew that they had big shoes to fill, but they were ready for the challenge. Arian's legacy continued to inspire new generations of heroes, each one dedicated to making the world a better place. The world was a safer place thanks to Arian's efforts, and his impact would never be forgotten. Arian's name became synonymous with hope, courage, and heroism. His story was passed down through the ages, a timeless tale of a hero who never gave up. Arian's spirit lived on in the hearts of those he had inspired, a guiding light in the darkest of times. The world was forever changed by Arian's legacy, and his story would be told for generations to come.